Hello and welcome. My name is Rachel of the Crafty Historian podcast, and today I'm doing a January roundup. Gonna keep this hopefully short, and there'll probably be very little editing as my computer has been taken in for repair, so that's charming. So here we are, it's January the 31st. And I thought I would just take a minute to reflect on how the month has gone. I am back at university and I'm in my second year, and my two modules this term are Charlemagne and Italy 1200 to 1400. In my spare time I am rehearsing a lot for a dance performance which we are doing on the, I want to say the 11th of February. I do swing dance, Lindy Hop and individual jazz, if that means anything to you. So that's been really exciting. I'm leading for the very first time. I'm usually a follower, but I'll do another video on swing dance at some point, hopefully. And also I have been in my first month of the job as one of Alcuin's disability officers, so just finding feet, and we've got lots of ideas about what we want to do to make it feel more inclusive as a community in my college. So that's what I've been up to. I had a few issues last week, but I think we're over them. I had a huge meltdown. My laptop is not on the best terms. We'll see how that goes. And I think that's all I want to cover at that point. And now I want to move into more how I've been doing with my goals. I have sort of two segments of goals, my January goals and my crafty goals. We will look at my January goals first, I think, because that might be nice. So at the moment this year I am hoping to set goals specifically for each month. So this month, in my habit tracker, it's not a bullet journal, I'm calling it a habit tracker. So in January I had to keep up with my reading. I had to read for pleasure. I had to attend all timetable things, keep up to date with project life, knit and complete two things, and cast on for my cardigan. Now, straight off the bat, I can tell you I haven't cast on my cardigan and I haven't kept up with my project life. I have read for pleasure. I have finished 2 books this month. They were Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and the Chamber of Secrets. I am sort of reinitializing pleasure reading for myself, and I figured the best way to do that would be to start with Harry Potter. So I'm currently in the middle of Prisoner of Azkaban. Here, my lovely copy. You can see it's all sun blemished and everything. So I'm in the middle of reading those. So read for pleasure. Tick. Attend all timetabled things. Apart from a lecture today. Tick. The reason I missed the one today is because it's about writing a modern dissertation. I've got no chance of writing one of those. No way at all. I would die inside. Knit and complete 2 things. Yep, I've definitely done that. I've knitted about 3 different Cecilia cowls at this point, and some other finished objects which you may get to see in my podcast, which hopefully I will film on Friday and be able to edit for you. So you might be able to see that. Keeping up to date with my reading. Generally okay, but that's sort of what I had a wobble over. I thought I was doing worse than I actually was. Also, I'm noticing I've got a bit of a halo going on. There really is no other place I'm just still trying to figure out where the best place to be is. So who knows? So those were my January goals. Now on to my crafty goals. I'm sort of adapting Miss Lavelli Katie's 50 points for Gryffindor, except obviously mine would be for Ravenclaw, because Rachel Ravenclaw. And the idea is, for completing things, you gain points, for buying things, you lose points. So I've adjusted my point system for my own sort of usage. So I've got so many journals at the moment. This is my knitting journal. For every 10 grams that I knit, I get 1 point. So if a pair of socks takes 50 grams, I get 5 points. If a jumper takes 250 grams, I get 25 points. So it's proportional to the amount that you've had to knit. I get 2 extra points if it's a gift, 1 extra point if it's from pre-2017 stash, and 1 point if it's for cow or knit along knitting. Similarly to 1 point per 10 grams that I've knitted, if I buy something, I can deduct 1 point per 10 grams that I buy. So if I buy 100 grams gain, I deduct 10 points. I also, because obviously I'm not just exclusively a knitter, I get 1 point for every card I make, 1 point for every scrapbook page, 1 point for every one of my felt hearts. They're in a bag at the moment. I get 2 points if I podcast, and 2 points for a scrapbook video, and 1 point for another video. So I'll be getting a point off of this. So my points for this month, they are looking like this. So this is what I've bought and this is what I've done. It's not a great comparison because this box is wider than this one, but I bought 9 balls of wool. So I bought wool from a couple of pairs of my socks, 1 for my friend's socks, and wool for 5 different Cecilia cats. Now that sounds a lot, so that's 90 minus 90. However, I have knitted my red Cecilia, I've knitted my friend Zoe's Cecilia, I've got 2 more finished objects which you will see later. I knitted green Cecilia, I knit John's girlfriend's Cecilia, I've made 13 watercolour cards, my sort of Harry Pottery inspired ones. I made 7 other different types of cards. I wound 10 minis for lovely Nikki of the Tea and Possibilities podcast. I put out 2 podcasts, and I also made another card. So in total, taking into account the 90 that were minus, I am up to 21 points for Ravenclaw, and that just makes me feel very accomplished inside. So yeah, very excited. And then just quickly moving on to a couple of things that I have been loving working on and things like that, or eating. One of them's an eating, well, a couple of them are eating. First of all, I have been loving habit tracking. So if you don't know what a habit tracker is, you put a load of habits you want to look at and figure out what you want to do for the entire month, and you track them. And everyone has that sort of joy of crossing things off of a list. The more of these colours I can fill in, the better I feel. So for example, the 8th and the 9th, I was pretty on it, and I was feeling really good. As you can see, I started to burn out around here and just got very sporadic. So I've got very simple things like reminding me to make my bed, brush my teeth, eat breakfast, all the way down to doing a 15-minute tidy up every day, doing my washing up, read 30 pages, do something crafty. Oh no, I didn't do it for all days. Something happened on the 21st and the 22nd. Making sure I shower. These are things that with my illness it's very easy to forget. So I'm really enjoying using this to keep it in check. And then I've got weekly at the bottom, clothes washing podcast, call home, spend less than budget, and vacuum. I've only vacuumed once and I haven't spent less than my budget, so there to work on next month. So my habit tracker, I have yet to write it on there. Also, similarly, I have my knitting tracker journal where, let's find one that I don't mind. Okay, so I've got what it is. For example, this is my Cozy Memories blanket, and then, for example, I've got my progress checker. I've got write down how much weighed, what sort of meterage, whether it's from stash, and my points. And yeah, they are it's keeping track of what I've made, because sometimes I think we get to the point where you sit there going, nothing's happening. I've been really productive this month, so that's really good. Sticking with yarny goodness. That's where I can't find it. There it is. The favourite yarn that I enjoyed knitting with this month is my stranded dyeworks. I think if you've listened to my podcasts, you know this is my favourite thing. It's just, the texture was amazing to knit with, and the colours are beautiful. Amy is such a lovely person. I loved knitting with this, and I've still got a fair amount left, so who knows what I'll do with this little pine cone thing. You can see really how atrocious I am at winding. Really, really atrocious. So it's that. Eating wise, I particularly had some chocolate left over from Christmas, and one of my friends gave me a selection box of Grelian chocolates, so the ones that look like seashells and seahorses. I'm not as fond of those, but it came with a small packet of their truffles, and that's to die for. It was sort of pure unadulterated chocolate, and that's one of chocolate's best forms. I also love mint. Not as huge a fan of nuts in chocolate, hence why I can tolerate the seashells, but the truffles were my sort of, they were more my bag, shall we say. Also foodie related, I've been making a lot of soup. Handmade soup with lots of veggies, and that has been really, really lovely and exciting, and yum scrum. I love making soup, I have figured out. So it's an easy meal. I can make one batch up and divide it into 4, and that's done. Meals for 4 days. The magic. I have loved working on my watercolour cards. They are linked in my Etsy. I will stick a link below because I don't have them with me at the moment, but I am taking requests and I am a student, as I keep saying, but there is no pressure. I just like to offer something to you lot because I love making things, and I like seeing other people's, I'm not sure what the sort of word is, but I like seeing how they appreciate and enjoy other people's creativity. I mean, I love buying handmade, and I know probably you guys do too, so just to keep me, please if you can just take a look, that's all that I ask. And finally, obviously, one of my things that I'm loving at the moment, one of the things I'm loving at the moment is wrapping up warm. It is January. I am in New York. It is freezing. You can see today I'm wearing my woolly jumper and my Hogwarts blanket. It is so cold in my room right now. I am sat very close to the window, and I should probably close the curtains because so much cold is being let in through it. But I'm not to complain. I like wrapping myself up in jumpers and blankets and hand knitted socks. Woohoo! Sorry, I'm very proud of them, in case you hadn't noticed. My feet have never been warmer, and I'm usually one of those who had to put on 2 or 3 pairs of socks when it was this cold, and now I just put on my hand knits and it's just like, oh. So yes, thank you for listening to my rambling. If you would like to tell me what you've been loving and how your January's been, let me know below on the Ravelry group, on my Instagram. I will put all the links below, and I hope you have a very lovely February. Oh yes, best of love to you all. Bye.